Tired of everyone telling you to find your passion, but no one telling you how? Welcome to the Korean Connection, and I'm your host, Korean, an attorney with a passion for empowering others to use their many talents and skills towards a path of self-discovery and alignment. Join me as I share my personal stories, professional insights, and practical tips, and how you can connect the dots between what you're great at and turning your passions into purpose. Let's connect. Push it to the left, make it go no more. Make it like no, I'm coming back home. I'm trying to roll all of my you. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Cause I'm coming back home. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Korean Connection. Today, we have a very, very special guest, my friend and neighbor. Her name is Sonya Burnham. Welcome to the Korean Connection, Sonya.
Thanks, Korean.
And I wanted to invite Sonya on the show because she has been someone who's been my rock for like the past few years. We not only have we been neighbors, but we've gone through some very similar experiences, divorce, being a single mom, and she has been my rock, in many circumstances to each other, right? And so I wanted to bring her on the show to talk about women who support other women and help women, connect their passions to purpose. So welcome to the show, Sonya.
Thanks, honey.
And tell us a little bit about yourself so our audience get to know who you are.
Sure. So I was born in Georgetown, Guyana, and kind of on topic, my dad passed when I was 10, and so my mom moved to the U.S., and I was brought up in a very female-centric household. Although my grandfather was there, my grandmother kind of ran the house. You know how it goes.
Right.
And from there, went to school here, first generation, right? So went to school here, worked in banking, worked in healthcare, was married. I have 2 children, and we'll talk about the fact that our children are a close age range, which is, in and of itself wonderful.
Boy and girl.
Yeah. It's just, this was so divine. Lived in Jersey most of my life, studied business, like I said, worked in the corporate. This is what I wanted to do when I graduated from college, go to Wall Street, did that for a while. And so now I'm in Rockland County, New York. Inadvertently ended up as your neighbor.
Yes. Could tell us a little bit about that experience.
That was crazy. So when after I divorced, we had this wonderful house in the upper part of Rockland County. I lived in an apartment for a while, and I had to suddenly move, right? And what you'll hear me say a lot is everything is in divine order. And I do believe that this was in divine order.
Totally.
So when and I rented a condo for a while. So when my landlady said she was selling the condo, in about a week, when you tell me I have to do something, I do it right away. We got on Zillow and we started looking. And so we found a house. We found this house, and I'm the second owner of this house. Moved into an area that I didn't have any support. I didn't know anybody. My family's within 30 minutes drive, but for those immediate needs, I'm just going to do it and figure it out. And that's what I did, right? And I think it took us maybe 6 or 8 months to really connect.
Yeah.
We were there.
Yeah.
So moved into this wonderful house. I saw your son first, and he was on a bike. And I introduced myself, and I said, hi. And he said, oh, my mom's going to be happy to meet you. It was great.
Like Black woman on the block, right?
And I remember when we first met, it was a slow introduction.
Yeah.
But something
only because of
spiritual
time.
happened. Yeah.
Only because of time. Because, in our neighborhood, it's mostly retirees. So you don't really see people out as much.
Yeah.
And so we kind of missed each other a few times. And then ultimately, walked over and we introduced
But
ourselves.
It was a natural pull.
Yeah.
A very careful, because our children.
Yes.
I think the children brought us together.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Because there were a lot of sleepovers.
Yes.
Because they connect right away.
Yeah.
And then, the sleepovers and the popcorn movie nights. And,
Totally.
We really became family.
Yes, absolutely. We spent Christmases together.
We did.
The holidays
meals.
and celebrations. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
And, and similar to you, I had no connections in Rockland County as well. I'm a Bronx girl.
Yeah.
And, right during the pandemic, I was house hunting maybe like a year and a half before that. And then I kind of lucked upon my house. Divine intervention. Because when I tell you I was over the search, I was about to move out of state when I found this house. And to show you, like, I had no, my sister, who was my broker at the time, showed me the house on a Saturday. And I was just like, all right, put in an offer. Because it had been probably my sixth offer at that time that I was putting in on a property. It all kind of went and fell through. So I had no hopes of getting anything through. And by the Monday, we were in contract, signed contract by the Monday. And so similarly, I kind of moved there having no plan, no support, not knowing how I was even going to get into the city to work. And you just kind of do it, right? Just kind of step out on faith. And it sounds like that's essentially the same thing that you did.
And that's my theme.
Yeah, right. And look how beautifully it has worked out for us, because that support system that we didn't even know where it was going to come from, it was one house down,
One house down.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll talk about this, but it's often, can you pick her up from school?
Right.
Or, can you watch the dog?
Totally.
And it's just such a natural, thing that's happening, a thing,
Yeah, and speaking on that subject, can you share a time with us where another woman supported you?
I mentioned purposely that when we migrated here, my family's made up of primarily women. My mother has 3 sisters, so there are 4 girls and my one uncle.
Yeah.
And so I lived in an environment where it was natural to see women supporting other people.
Okay.
It wasn't an effort. It wasn't a thought, right? I went to college, pledged a sorority. I'm a Delta. And in so many cases, I've just surrounded myself with women. And let's be honest, we know in some of those experiences, you have some women that are not supportive.
Yeah.
But I think during the course of my life, I've realized, or I've learned how to filter and identify women who will be supportive.
Yeah.
And understand that there's some people that just won't support you, and it's okay. They're not supposed to be in your space.
And even in a setting where it's all about, like as you mentioned, your sorority, it's supposed to be all about women supporting each other, right? And that sense of community. But even in those spaces, you find moments where people are not so supportive.
Right. So to answer your question directly, my environment has always been surrounded by women.
Yeah.
And I can say that I have gleaned from a lot of the women, all of my aunts.
Yeah.
If you really know my personality and know my aunts, and you've met all of them,
yes.
I have pieces of 3 of my aunts and my mom in me.
Yeah.
And so naturally, I've learned to look at women and kind of pull towards those who are natural and honest and good people.
Yeah.
And so I've surrounded myself with naturally good people. Yeah.
In that vein, though, how do you deal with the other side of that, right? So for the woman who sort of on the face seems supportive, but in practice isn't, how do you, one, recognize those women? And then 2, how do you deal with those women?
So the one thing, there's a lot of conversation about love bombing.
Yeah.
That can happen in a female relationship.
Yes.
There's some women who are just so eager to be your friend for whatever their purpose is. And you have to move slowly, just like I think we did. You can't automatically become best friends.
Right.
It's a slow progression, and it's not checking the person out.
Yeah.
It's really just understanding that naturally you will vibe. And so when you have that slow, kind of pull toward each other, your relationship will evolve. I've had friends who I've now, in retrospect, learned there were love bombs.
Yeah.
And let me just say, side note, I wasn't born with this knowledge. I kind of had to go through some things.
Yes. Right? Like all of us.
I had some things, right? And I recognize now that some of those people who were in my life for that season, lifetime, were only supposed to be for that particular season. And I have always been very honest with people. And if I find that you're not the right person for me and my spirit, I either gently exit.
Yeah.
Or if you insist, I will tell you the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
This doesn't fit me. And it's just not something for me. But generally, when I exit, people get the picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't surround yourself with people who are not genuinely looking out for your best interest.
Totally.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's very hard to maneuver those spaces, right? Because, sometimes, way how I enter into those spaces, I give everybody a clean slate.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Start every class with an A.
Right. You start a class with an A,
Right.
and as, certain moves and
Right.
certain behaviors that show that you're not being genuine, when you recognize them, you have to have the self-awareness to recognize them.
Right.
Because, people are not just going to come and show you everything right away. So you have to kind of be in tune and aware to recognize when there's a shift. And then when there's a shift, it's still sort of hard to kind of maintain a relationship where you're kind of, second guessing people's motives. So, like Oprah said, you can't have a friend that's jealous of you. It just doesn't work, because eventually it's going to rear its ugly head in some way, shape, and form. And support has to be support. It has to be genuine and 100% support.
Right.
Then otherwise, what kind of support it is, right?
And people use the quote from Maya Angelou a lot. When people show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah, the first time.
And don't ignore it.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to listen to, and I'm very spiritual, you have to listen to spirit. There's this teeny tiny little voice in the back of your head where deep down that this person isn't the right person for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Be it a sister, be it a guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But you'll know that this person isn't right for you. And it's okay. There are other people in the world. This country is made up of, 300 million people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll find your right circle.
Yeah.
You don't have to force a friendship.
Totally. And, and we all come with our own set of judgments, right? Like we all judge people based on, we size people up and we try to figure people out because you're trying to figure out where this person kind of, places in your life or if they should be placed in your life. Right. So have there ever been a time where you anticipated judgment from a female, but end up getting support?
Oh my goodness. I would say in a workplace. I've always gone to work.
Yeah.
Never with the expectation to receive mentorship or anything like that.
Yeah.
And there's one particular woman who, I don't know that I expected judgment, but because it was the workplace and I didn't have that expectation, we used to have chats in her office. And, I'm extremely tense in a corporate environment because you never know who's really looking out for you.
Yeah.
But she would talk to me and, I'd talk and be very polite.
Yeah.
And most recently, now I stopped working for this company. I worked there for 19 years. She stopped working there, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. I'm just estimating. But we haven't connected in about 8 years. 3 or 4 weeks ago, she sent me a text. And she said, I was thinking about you. Ultimately told me she had a dream about me and it was a long joke and we had lunch.
Yeah.
The fact that this woman who I worked with and didn't really know she was looking out for me, didn't know that there was a connection.
Yeah.
Years later to reach out to me and text me.
Yeah.
There's that support.
Yeah. And the support doesn't necessarily have to be a continuous
or overt.
Right.
They talk about sponsorship.
Yeah.
When you listen to Carla Harris talks about sponsorship a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes people at your work setting or even in your personal life, they're looking out for you and they're talking about you behind closed doors and you may not know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes it's not overt. That person who's looking out for you, you may not realize it until years later.
Yeah. And also important for you in those spaces to also maintain an essence about you that's going to invite support.
Right. And that goes back to that authenticity.
Yes.
I know so many people, and I can't tell you how many times I go to point Z and I know someone who I met in point A.
Small world. I mean, the 6 degree of separation thing, it's insane.
So I'm just naturally an authentic person anyway, but whenever that happens, I'm like, what if I were just trying to pretend to be somebody else in point Z.
And what is the point in all of that?
Well, people do it.
Yeah.
But what
never
if I
get
were
it.
that person? Like,
Yeah.
they're like, that's not how she acts in point Z.
Right,
you know?
right.
But you just never know. And it's just about maintaining that, authenticity and the flow
Yeah.
will just be natural.
Yeah.
So just be yourself, and that person who's going to support you,
Yeah.
again, it may not be overt,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to see it.
So, in talking about women, we have to kind of talk about that, nature versus nurture, right? Because women, we are naturally competitive creatures. So how do you temper your competitiveness that you have to exhibit in the workplace and just in life in order to be a successful woman that you are? How do you temper that competitiveness with support? Or do you even see them as opposites, or can you still be competitive in a space with another woman but still offer support?
So I'm going to shift it. For me, it's never competition. Now, mind you, I look at a peer and I say, wow, I wish I were, have achieved that.
Yes.
Or I wish that I had such and such.
Yes.
But it's never from a place of jealousy or competition.
Yes.
But it's a place of challenge. And I love, you and I have talked about this before. I
Yeah.
love surrounding myself with people who challenge me.
Yes.
Be it overtly or covertly.
Yeah.
I'm in some circles where there's some amazing women, and I don't even need to have long conversations with them. But I know what they're doing.
Yes.
I may have a short chat with them, but that drives me
Yeah.
to be the better me.
How are you intentional in putting yourself in those spaces with those type of women?
I'm not.
'Cause
It happens naturally.
I know that you're part of certain organizations that embodies that.
Yeah.
So there is some intentionality there. So you want to talk about some of those organizations that you're part of that's really about support for
Now,
women?
when you say intentionality, when I kind of interpret that to mean, I strategically place myself there.
Well,
but
you want to surround yourself with positive women who encourage you and inspire you. So there have to be some intentionality in putting yourself in those spaces, no?
no.
So how do you go about doing that?
I think when we talked about the natural pull, those people come in your space.
Yeah. But those are in organizations that you have to use some intentional steps to
No.
get in. They're not like
No.
dragging people off the streets.
No, I think it's when you're that person,
Yeah.
and you surround yourself with those type of people,
Yeah.
and it happens naturally. It really is supposed to happen. Now, there's some people who are intentional about getting into certain organizations.
Yeah.
I'm not. We're having this conversation between you and I. I'm not.
Okay.
I have just been my authentic self, and I mean this honestly.
What organizations are those?
So I'm a Delta.
Yeah. And there's a level of exclusivity in those organizations.
You have to be invited.
And there's a process.
There is a process, but the history is to be invited by friends,
Yeah.
right? So it's sisterhood and service.
Yeah.
And that friendship and service, and that sisterhood is really authentic connection.
Yeah.
And I have to say, for me, it was never intentional. It was really through friendships and relationships.
Yeah.
And I think with everything, you should never try to force. It's the same
It
as
doesn't necessarily
friendship.
have to be forced, right?
Right.
It's not. It has to be. I don't know. Intentionality. I'm not thinking force, like it's
Right.
fake.
Yeah.
Not thinking
Yeah.
in the line of being fake. I'm saying, in just in life in general, in terms of how I choose, friends. There's some intentionality in what type of friends you can choose. You
Yeah.
can choose friends that go down that path or friends that go down this path.
Right.
Or for women who are stronger or more inspirational than you, you're
Yeah.
intentional about placing yourself in those spaces
Yeah.
to surround yourself with that so it can be inspirational to you.
Yeah.
So there is some level of intentionality there, no?
Not for me.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And I kind of want that message to be conveyed.
Okay.
And that goes back to the authenticity.
Okay.
Because when you try to intentionally place yourself somewhere, I think that's where you find those rubs.
Yeah. But it's not okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
And the invitations that I received were because I had relationships, with someone. I was just sharing you in the car. I went to Guyana and I met someone who has some influence in Guyana. And my intention was just to have natural conversation.
Yeah.
And if something evolved from that natural conversation, that's what was supposed to happen.
Yes.
If a professional relationship evolves from that conversation,
Yeah.
if an advancement of business or personal endeavors advance from that conversation, then that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That's how you have to look at it.
No, totally. I mean, your path is your path.
Right.
But sometimes, in order to get to your path, sometimes you have to take intentional steps.
You do.
To kind of get there. But I don't see intentional steps and being ambitious in your life as a negative connotation.
Correct.
And you not being fake.
Absolutely.
Right? Like you can take
Absolutely.
intentional steps and not be fake.
Yeah.
But healthy debates.
Healthy. But I think, and so I admire, though, people who are very intentional about their paths to moving forward professionally and even in business.
Yeah.
Right? I just look at that as different from any sort of friendships and relationships. So I keep those separately.
Okay.
And the organizations that I'm a part of are more about friendships and relationships.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that wouldn't be intentional. But certainly when you want to move forward in any kind of business or professional endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Has there been like a time that you let me give this. What are your passions? Because you're on the Korean connection where we connect passions to purpose. Tell us a little bit about your passions and how these connections that you've made, or whether or not they even impact your passions at all.
And it took me a long time to define what my passions were because they happen so naturally.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do things, and there was something I learned a long time ago. When you're passionate about something, you do it for free. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I realized that I am passionate about, but I never thought it was a thing, is, managing and process improvement and product management and project management. It sounds weird, like it's not cooking, it's not gardening. But it's something that I'm passionate about, and it's something I realized that I brought to a lot of these organizations that I volunteer for. And I bring it to not only those organizations, but some of the work that I'm doing. Like right now, I went to Guyana this week, and I solicited collections for laptop computers for primary school children, so children going through grade 6, who don't have access to technology at home. And many of them are in single-parent homes.
Yes.
And this is the more, I don't want to call it rural, but not in the city of Georgetown.
Yes.
And I connected with a family friend who has a nonprofit based in New York. And it's, I've been sending my children's hardly used toys and clothes home for a long time. And I asked her a year ago, what can I do?
Yeah.
She said, the kids need computers, so passion.
Yeah.
I started soliciting friends. I'm like, I have 100 friends. We can get computers.
Yes.
And so give me something that I can do, something that helps other people, something that I can incorporate technology and process improvement.
Yes.
And I do it. So that's those are my passions.
Yeah. And so I know you recently started a business. So what is that business and how does that connect to your passions?
So what's interesting is one of the things that I love, and I talked about the fact that you don't realize a passion is a thing, right?
Yeah.
I love brunch and afternoon tea. And I love food.
Yes.
I love wine.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
But I also love conversation. Mm-hmm. And just getting back to the whole authenticity. When you sit and have a conversation with good food.
Yeah. And tea.
So the business is, I'm starting a pop-up afternoon tea bistro in Nyack, New York this summer. Mm-hmm. We're kicking off July 20th, and it's culminating on September 6th. And that last weekend, we're going to have U.S. Open viewing parties. Now, I'm not charging. I don't want the UST to come after me. I'm not trying to capitalize on but just a gathering with afternoon tea. So afternoon tea is, in many countries, in many places, a pause.
Yeah.
It's not a fancy thing. It's not a hats thing. It's not a girl thing.
Right.
it's just a pause in the afternoon. When I was in Guyana last week, I was in the market, and around 3:00, people started shutting down.
Empty.
It's like, well, where's everybody?
Yeah.
It's a natural thing to
Yeah.
have afternoon tea.
Yeah. And in a society where we don't celebrate the pause, right?
Stopping.
How important is that?
Conversation.
Right. Right.
So we're going to be open from Thursday to Sunday. And it's just, and I'm doing a different twist on it, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the English formal. I'm incorporating some new fusion, some new food. Of course, I have a vegan menu, a Guyanese menu.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun and really interesting.
And this is going to be centered around guided conversation, or is it going to be more like free time to just pause and just be with friends and family, or meet new people?
Oh my gosh, we have events we have Miss Kareen will be one of our presenters, if you will. She's going to host a talk. You. We also have book talks. We have an etiquette class. We're going to have
so
a
lost
mother
on
and
people
daughter.
Nowadays, etiquette, right?
We're going. My friend Chic Situations will be doing her etiquette. She has a book, and she's going to be doing an etiquette class. And I'm also going to have, this is a reveal, conversation cards on each table. So it'll help to spark conversation while you're enjoying your afternoon tea. But
That's awesome.
It's just going to be cool.
Yeah. And
relax.
Where will it be? Like, what's the location?
This is me tying everything together.
Yes.
It's going to be held at the Angel Nyack in Nyack, New York, 18 South Broadway.
Yeah.
And the Angel Nyack is actually a nonprofit. And they have a soup kitchen called Soup Angels. They serve the underserved, or what's the new word? The underserved in Nyack.
Unless you want to say homeless.
Yeah. On Wednesdays. So, what I'm giving to them in terms of a rental is going back to community.
Yeah.
Part of my proceeds are going back to the community.
Yeah.
I'm also going to have a boutique where new entrepreneurs, I have a friend who just started her candle business.
Yeah.
I brought back some goods from Guyana.
Yeah.
So we're going to have opportunities for people to sell their goods.
Yeah.
It's a good thing overall.
Yeah,
and it's really tying back my entire passion.
Totally. And tying it back also to our subject today, which is about support, right?
Yeah.
And, one hand doesn't clap, right? You kind of need two. So you need, for you supporting the Angel of Nyack while supporting small businesses, while supporting the pause, a support all around. It's amazing. I can't wait for the event. And when is the kickoff again? When is the date?
So the kickoff is a private birthday event for myself because I have never hosted a big birthday party for me.
Yes.
And I believe that this is a new chapter. I don't know where it's going. For those of you who are more Christian, when Noah was given instruction,
He just followed.
And friends said to me, well, where's this going? I have no idea. I'm following the direction.
Yeah.
So kick off for my birthday, and then the first seating will be July 20th at 2:00.
Is there a capacity in terms of, how many people you can host?
It's in the garden at the Angel Nyack. So we have about 36 to 40 that we can host at any given time. And I want every single day to be full.
Get your tickets now. And where can they RSVP or buy purchase?
So we're going to launch our reservations this week. But you can find us at Savannah and Steep. I'm sure you'll put it in your comments.
I will.
On Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're launching our website very soon.
Very nice. Pretty bold move, right? To do tea, right? For someone or another woman who is considering pivoting and moving in another direction, or taking that bold step in connecting their passions to purpose, what advice would you give to them, if they're sort of ruminating about whether or not they should do this, or even afraid to step out and do this?
Because I ruminated and I was afraid. And even now as I'm doing this, I'm like, what have I done?
Right.
What am I doing? Have faith in yourself. be still and be quiet. When you're quiet is when you hear that very small voice. This is no new news. And when you hear that small voice, that's usually the universe, God, the Holy Spirit, giving you direction.
Yeah.
Don't question it, because this feels crazy to me, what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
With the current environment, the political environment, it just seems absolutely crazy.
Yes.
But I believe in my heart that I'm doing the right thing. And my aunt once said to me, if it feels peaceful to you, then it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So the ideas that you have...
That's powerful, by the way. Which auntie is that?
Dawn. Auntie Dawn. If the ideas that you have are not crazy, this is afternoon tea.
Yes.
I worked in banking and healthcare and technology.
I mean, with all of that, I can understand why a pause is necessary and how you may have missed out on several pauses by pursuing that corporate lifestyle.
And being so busy you don't hear the quietness. Have a minute. Believe in yourself.
Yeah. Surround
yourself with people who are your cheerleaders. When I came up with this idea, I called this one friend of mine, Lisa. And I don't know why I called her, because I knew she wouldn't tell me it was crazy. She was like, yeah, I was waiting for you. And she has been my biggest cheerleader. And my friend Tiffany of Chic Situations. My biggest cheerleaders, along with my aunts. Very supportive.
How did you find the courage to do Savannah and Steep?
I think it was the support, because when the idea came to me, it seemed crazy. It really did. And is this a good time? I have 2 children to support. Is this something I want to invest in? So I called Lisa, and I knew she would give me the okay. I called Tiffany. I knew she would give me the okay. But then when I had to tell my aunts, and my Aunt Dawn is very pragmatic, and I actually go to her because I know she'll tell me the truth. And not only was she excited, she has been scouring shops and garage sales looking for tea sets.
Yes.
And that's how you know you have the right support.
Yeah.
I knew that when I asked the people who I thought would push back, and don't be afraid to go and get the truth. And I always look for honest feedback.
Yeah.
And I take it.
And I was just about to say that, because sometimes, you definitely want support. But support doesn't always mean, yes, go girl,
That's
go
right.
get it, right? Support also means that looking, reality in the face. Well, I mean, you don't necessarily want to down anybody's dream, so there's definitely a line there.
Right.
People can offer their opinion, but you can't let them sway you too much from pursuing your passions.
Right.
But you also have to be realistic to an extent, and listen to someone who knows you well and being able to have you face like the honest truth. So you were just mentioning your aunt, and what were some of those honest truths or those discussions that you had to have with your aunt that still give you pause to think about what it is that you're about to embark on, but not to dissuade you from pursuing your passion?
Well, she calls me like every morning, and she ensures that, just like yesterday, she texted me. She's like, I'm at a restaurant and I'm observing the waitstaff and the bussers.
Yeah.
But she talks to me about the finances.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that we're not going to lose money.
Yeah.
That's the reality of business, right? She talks to me about every aspect of hiring the right people to ensure that we're presenting well.
Yeah.
Just ensuring that this will be a success overall.
Yeah.
Because she knows that this is my passion as well.
Yeah. And I appreciate that you kind of outlined those steps, because if you notice, when she's outlining those steps, it was more about how are you going to go about doing this? It's about being prepared to embark on the journey, as opposed to just being a devil's advocate, just shooting down, your thoughts and your passion
Absolutely.
that you have.
Well, that's the other thing. You were saying something. You don't want too much information coming. So you have to be very mindful about who you try to get information from.
Yes.
And you do still have to filter. But that goes back to the beginning of our conversation in terms of authenticity and bringing in the right people into your circle. And you have to really ensure that you have the right people.
Right.
Because everybody is not for you, even though they may appear to be. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, But that's the truth.
That is the truth. That's the world we live in.
Right.
Everybody
you
don't
really
have your best
to
interests at
right.
heart.
And they may seem like it.
Yes.
Maybe because they think that being close to you will give you the right connection or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Authenticity. I just can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah. Very true. Obviously, you know, I'm a big supporter of you as a person, and now that you're embarking on this new journey of pursuing your passions with Savannah and Steve, obviously still supporting you as well. Are there any like final thoughts that you would like to leave the audience with as, you know, you go out and embark on this new venture of yours?
So, Kareen, the reason why I'm sitting here today, and this is not natural for me, is because you inspired me.
Oh, thank you.
When you did the podcast, and I want you all to go back and look at it, where you sang. And I remember when I watched that, I said that could not have been comfortable.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Pay attention to the messages that are around you. I spoke about being overt. Not everything is going to jump in your face, but they're repetitions. Those messages are repetitions. And you doing this podcast and you singing was a message to me that I need to get behind from my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I encourage everyone to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the messages, listen to the voices, and pursue your passion.
Yeah. And pursuing your passions really just comes down to getting out of your comfort zone, right? Because, you know, when something, your passions, like you said, come so natural to you and so easy to you, it's not something that you necessarily think about or try in order to do, but you still have to perfect it to an extent. But, you know, it's because it comes so natural to you and it's ingrained in who you are. There's a little fear, too, about showcasing that to the world. So, you know, if, you know, in pursuing your passions, it's always about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I'm watching you literally do that with Savannah and Steve. So I'm like super proud of you, girl.
Thank you, love.
You're welcome. You're welcome. As a final wrap up for Savannah and Steve, Sonya, again, just please let the audience know how they can get in contact with you and how they can RSVP for this wonderful opportunity.
Right now, we're on Instagram, Savannah and Steep, and we're on Facebook. We have TikTok account, Sav and Steep. And then we were going to launch our website this week. So you'll be able to make reservations on the website.
Do you have like, if they wanted to get in contact with you right now, they can DM you on Instagram?
You can DM me. We do respond. I have head of marketing because you need a team.
You do.
Who will definitely respond, and I respond right away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's gonna be your final thought, and I think it's a beautiful one to leave us with. Thank you so much, Sonya, for joining us on the Korean Connection. I wish you best of luck in all of your future endeavors, and that's certainly with Savannah and Steve. Guys, if you're in the Rockland area, definitely check her out. I think the first date you mentioned is
July 20th.
July 20th is the launch at 20th at the Angels of Nyack Center. Definitely come out and support her and enjoy the pause of tea. Join us next time on the Korean Connection. Let's connect. Thank you guys for connecting with me today. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to my channel, The Korean Connection. To connect with me, you can email me at thekoreanconnection@gmail.com. And don't forget that sometimes your passion whispers before it roars. And if you're listening closely, the next episode might be where it gets louder. Let's connect.
Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Like no, I'm coming back home.